All right, y'all, what's up? Welcome into what I'm sure is going to be an awesome experience for all of us for the next however long we hang out. LSU loses 24-19. I'll pour a Weller 12. The Bocock Brother cigar. We will commiserate what just happened. I have no doubt that every single one of you. Oh, shit. Hang on one second. I need my microphone. Sorry. One second. One second. One second. My apologies. All right. That it should sound better because all going to want to hear this in the clearest possible audio. All right. LSU loses 24-19. No way around it. I was dead wrong. I was said it all week, uncomfortably confident, almost irrationally confident. Clearly, it was irrational. I thought LSU's a better team. Certainly love LSU's defense. I know, like you can give a hat tip to Ole Miss. They put up 480 yards, 314 through the air. They ran it for 166. I thought the defense in the second half was. I thought the defense really in the whole game, considering what they were up against, played their asses off. I mean, Ole Miss ran 49 plays in the first half. 49 plays in the first half. Because you couldn't run the ball and sustain a drive. So the offense had to play some complementary football in the second half, and they did. So if you actually look at, see if I can get you here it is. In the third quarter, LSU possessed it for 9:30 to 5:30. And then in the fourth quarter, LSU possessed it for 6:04, Ole Miss for 8:56. So you had to play some complimentary football, so your defense wasn't on the field the whole fucking game. But it's what it is, man. So I was super confident in LSU, loved the defense, and I've watched Ole Miss play this year plenty. And the Ole Miss defense isn't very good, which really compounds the issue that LSU has here offensively. I mean, they talked about it the whole game. McElroy and McDonough talked about it the whole game. And you saw it. I mean, you don't have to be a savant. Ole Miss ran three, dropped into coverage. It's what every team is going to do until you show a willingness to run the football and an ability to run the football. And they can't. I mean, I watched Arkansas put up 500 yards. A shitty Arkansas team that got dick kicked today by Notre Dame. I saw a shitty Arkansas team put up 500 yards on that defense and 35 points. I mean, LSU, with the talent they have, a veteran quarterback, the receivers, should have been able to go into that stadium today and put up 30 points. And 30, with LSU's defense, 30 should be good enough to beat any team you play. Unfortunately, your offense wasn't good enough. We're going to go through the game. A few things for sure. Please, first of all, smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for being here with us. Always love telling about Parish Construction and Roofing. Of course, I'm a partner in Parish, one of the owners, and we're super proud of everything we do. And we'd love to help you out if you need roof repair, replacement anywhere in the state of Louisiana, commercial, residential, we do it all. And Got Lit Light installers, gotlitlights.com. I'll make sure I get Got Lit pinned in the YouTube chat. bring some cheer to our lives here amid this this evening. So, Gauntlet's easy. They'll come to your house. They'll give you an estimate. They'll install their lights, their Christmas lights at your house. Yes, they do Halloween lights as well. Some of you asked last week. When the season's over, they'll come, take them down, haul them away. They take care of everything. They're great. Appreciate Gauntlet Light Installers so much for being great sponsors here. So please, please give them a shot. Greater Baton Rouge only. 30-mile radius of Baton Rouge for Gauntlet. GauntletLights.com. I got it pinned there in the YouTube channel. So, we'll run through the game. I'll get to a bunch of your comments. I'll hang out. Look, I'll have Bama Georgia on. Maybe the only thing that'll be a saving grace in this day is if Bama gets dick kicked by Georgia. That's the second time I've said dick kicked in the show already. Maybe I'll say it a few more times. For those who weren't here at the very beginning, yes, I was dead wrong. Loved LSU in the spot. Thought they'd win comfortably. Did not. I was dead wrong. So we'll reassess. Few things. Weston Davis hurt in pregame. That sucked immensely. I thought Carius Kern played well. He gave up the sack at the end that got to Deshaun Womack. That got negated by the Womack was offsides. But other than that, I thought Kern played pretty well, all things considered, man. Ole Miss had just the one sack, 3 TFLs, 8 quarterback hurries, which is a lot. But I thought all things considered, you were without your right tackle. Then Mabinga gets hurt, so Cohen Eccles had to go in at left guard. And then you were obviously without Caden Durham as well in this ball game, which, I'm not obviously not at the game and not talking to Kelly in the postgame press conference, but he mentioned at halftime that they need to run the ball more. They only ran 24 plays in the first half, 15 passes, 9 runs. 9 rushing attempts. I mean, 9 rushing attempts and a half. I mean, there has to be a fucking attempt to run the ball. I mean, I know the short passing game is an extension of the run for LSU, but like you've got to establish the run. I mean, they had a 3-man front the whole fucking game. They were dropping 8. How do you it's math. They have a 3-man front. They're dropping 8 the whole game. If they're dropping 8, it's going to be harder. You're throwing into traffic the whole game. So you have numbers at the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to run when you have numbers. And they didn't even attempt to in the first half. And I don't know what the game plan was, but Joe Sloan's the one calling the plays, and that's awful. I mean, not knowing what the game plan was, looking at it objectively, going, how the fuck do you run the ball 9 times and a half? Like, you just have to do better. You have to. Harlan Berry got going there at the end. He finished with his first rushing touchdown. Congrats to him. Sucks that it came in a loss, but Berry ended up with 7 carries for 22 yards, average of 3.1. Juwan Johnson, 6 carries for 18 yards. So Berry was 7, Johnson was 6, Xavion had 4, Caleb, Berrien each had 1. I mean, fuck. It's brutal. And everybody who has criticized the run game, you're right to. I mean, like, we sat here after Florida when Kelly was pissed at Cobble for asking the question, and asking the question is the right thing because it is unacceptable to be that bad offensively with that much. The question is, why are you that bad? Is it the offensive line? Is it Nussmeier's torso? Is it Joe Sloan? Is it running backs missing holes? Is it a combination of all the things? And the answer is probably that, but I don't know how you could look at a game like this where you ran the ball 22 times for 57 yards for an average of 2.6 yards per carry. There was 1 sack, so sack adjusted was 65 yards, so 3.1 per carry, same fucking thing. where they were playing mostly three-man fronts and you couldn't run the ball and wouldn't run the ball, and look at anything other than like what we talked about through spring, fall, everything, your offensive line. It was the biggest question coming into the season. I've been willing to be patient, like give it time to get better. 5 new starters, young tackles, new everywhere. Like I've been willing to be patient. Uh, that one's hard because I get it. Opener, first game at Clemson. You say what you want about Clemson. Clemson still has dudes in their defensive front that are NFL players. Like they still have NFL talent. Same with Florida. Like Florida has NFL talent on their defensive front. Like I mean, Florida held Miami to 13 points, till 8 minutes to go in the game last week. Like they have good players. Ole Miss defensively, and I understand they just whipped LSU. But Ole Miss defensively is not a good defensive team. Tulane ran for 180 against them. They're giving up an average of 190 rush yards a game. It's one of the worst rush defenses in the country. They don't have players in their defensive front that are going to be NFL players. And so to not be able to get I could hear the argument. It's one of the reasons I was hesitant to be so quick to just shit on everything. I could hear the argument for, okay, 5 new starters on the offensive line. Clemson and Florida have really good defensive fronts. Maybe Nussmeier, Torsa, whatever the fuck. Like, I could hear the argument why it was going to take time. Okay. The problem now is like that Ole Miss defensive front is not great. And they just handed you your ass. Like, that's not great. So someone said $20 million buys you last year's Ole Miss team. It's interesting, the role reversal, right? Ole Miss was the all-in team a year ago with the veteran quarterback and blew a game against an inferior team in Baton Rouge. LSU with the more veteran, expensive roster goes to Ole Miss and loses on the road. So tip your cap, man. Ole Miss is better. Tip your cap. They were better coached, better prepared. They outplayed LSU on both sides of the ball. Trinidad Chambliss was great. I mean, the thing that they did that was the differentiator was Chambliss's ability to run the football. That was the differentiator. So LSU couldn't be so aggressive in their pass rush because they had to respect his ability to run the ball. So they didn't pressure him tremendously. So he had time to throw, and he made mostly good decisions and accurate throws. And when he had to run, he did. Chambliss threw it 39 times for 314 yards. He ran it 14 times for 71. There's your game. There's your game. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, fuck it, season's over. Like, I'm not there. I mean, you have an open date. Get healthy. Then you're home against South Carolina, who's a disaster. You're going to win that game. Then you're going to go to Nashville. You should beat Vanderbilt. You're home against A&M. An A&M team that played in a dogfight today against Auburn and won, but an A&M team that was sluggish today and is okay, but you get that game at home. So you got time. You got time to keep improving. I know nobody wants to hear that 30 minutes after the game's over, but you have time and the team will improve. But the question is, realistically, what is the ceiling for this team? Like, I mean, fuck, Ohio State 2 games last year, y'all. I mean, good teams lose, but you got to improve. You got to improve a lot and in a hurry. All right. Thank you for being here with us, y'all. Please smash the like button. Over 2,700 y'all watching. I appreciate it greatly. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me go through the game. If you're new, thanks for being here. I'll go through the game. And then I'll get to all your questions and comments and all that stuff. So keep them coming. I appreciate everything. The way this game started was damn near fucking perfect. God. They elect to receive. And you hold them to a 3-and-out. Start the game. I mean, it couldn't be any better because now they got the ball to receive. You held them 3-and-out. That was the matchup everybody wanted to see. You're going to get the ball to start the second half. Like, could not have started better. Now you punt, then you hold them to a second 3-and-out. So back-to-back possessions for Ole Miss, 3-and-out. You get the ball, first down, boom, 50 yards to Xavier Thomas. And it's like, that's exactly what we talked about. LSU's defense was going to overwhelm Ole Miss's offense. Ole Miss's defense, especially in the secondary, is not very good. LSU's receivers should be able to make plays. There's Xavier Thomas, 50 yards. You get in the red zone. And then you get the touchdown pass on the deflection to Nick Anderson. You're up 7-0. And then they get the ball, and they run it out, if you remember, and you had great kick coverage, and they're down at their 10-yard line. So you're up 7-0. Now they're starting their drive at the 10-yard line after going 3-and-out. So it's a good start. And that's when they put together the 18-play drive. They faced a 3rd and 6, had a 12-yard reception, a 3rd and 1, had a 2-yard run, a 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5, you missed the fucking sack, man. On 3rd and 5, I think it was Wes Weeks. But 3rd and 5, you missed him. He ran for 8 yards to convert. Anyway, and then on 3rd and 4, Patrick Payton ends up batting the ball. You hold him to a field goal. So it's an 18-play drive. And you're going, all right, I'll let you go 18 plays and settle for a field goal. Do that all fucking day. Dink and dunk your way down the field. It's not going to let you beat us deep. You're up 7-3. Tigers get the ball. They're moving. You got a 3rd and 5. They call PI on Ole Miss. Next play, Chris Hilton, 10-yard catch. Also a personal foul for hands in the face. All of a sudden, you blink. You're at their 29-yard line. You're up 7-3. You're moving the ball. You're into the second quarter now, and Nuss throws the interception, which, I mean, considering the way that game started, that interception changed the entire sequence and flow of the game. You're up 7-3. You're at the 29. You're in field goal range. Ramos is great today, by the way. You're in field goal range. You're going to minimum here, get a field goal, go back up a touchdown. And instead, Nuss throws the interception. Now, you force a punt, and you get the ball back, but you get it back at your own 27, you go 3-and-out. Then you give them the ball, and they hit the big play, and this is where, what a play by A.J. Halsey. I mean, remember, you're still in the 7-3 ball game. You're winning 7-3. I mean, this is with, about 8 minutes to go in the half. You're winning 7-3 with 8 minutes to go in the half. And A.J. Halsey with the punch out right near the goal line. Beautiful play. LSU gets the recovery. And this is the sequence, though, that the interception, I think, fucked with Nuss. And I think this was the sequence. So if you don't remember this, I'll go through it. When I do, you will. So LSU gets the ball after the fumble. Halsey punches the ball out. LSU gets the ball at their own 20. On first down, beautiful play call. You get a 10-yard reception on the right side, holding by Trey'Dez Green. All right. So instead it comes back, it's 1st and 20. First down was a great play call. 10-yard reception. Boom. You're going to be out at the 30-yard line. You're running. Instead, now it's 1st and 20. They run a slant to Aaron Anderson or a crosser about 18 yards, and Nuss sails it. An accurate throw, you're right near the sticks to convert probably a 3rd and 2. Instead, he sails it. Aaron Anderson gets knocked out of the game, and now it's 3rd and 20. I'm sorry, now it's 2nd and 20 because it was 1st and 20 on the – so 2nd and 20, Nuss is rolling right, and he throws the ball in a triple coverage. That to Trey'Dez, that's the one that almost got intercepted. And then on 3rd down, they just hand the ball to Caleb Jackson. He runs for 10 yards, and they punt. But, that's where it was like, oh, my God, the quality throw was bad. Then the next play, the decision making was bad, and that was following the interception. You're going, what's going on? I mean, it felt like up until that point, the interception, the game flow was exactly how you wanted. And even then, getting the fumble was a big moment. And then that happened. And then look, right before they got the ball with 6:49 to go. They hold on first down, so they got a 1st and 20. And you get the personal foul on West Weeks. They're 1st and 20 at their own 10-yard line. Beautiful pressure. Chambliss is backpedaling. He's just throwing it away. Remember, you're still up 7-3 right now. Like, you're up 7-3 with 6:49 to play in the half. They've scored 3 points with 6 minutes to go in the half. And you're about to pin them deep, and West Weeks pushes Chambliss 15-yard. You let them out of the shadow of their goalpost. Then they end up getting you end up getting a pick six, and Pickett gets called for PI, which it was PI, but that was a terrible throw by Chambliss. As good as Chambliss was for the majority of the game, he made some awful throws. Like, he gave you opportunities. The Woodland pick was one, but the Pickett pick six, like, the receiver was breaking to the field and the ball went to the sideline. Like, Pickett didn't need to do shit. All he needed to do was just step up and catch the fucking ball and run it back, and then you're up 14-3. I mean, how different does the game feel with that pick six, and it's 14-3 there instead of them going and scoring, and now they're up 10-7. I mean, you had God damn, you had opportunities. You fucking had opportunities. So they end up scoring. So they're up 10-7. You get the ball at 4:53. This is the moment where you got to go into 4-minute offense, get points, and then get the ball to start the second half, and then go back to back. Like, this is what those moments are for, the opportunity to go back to back. And on first down, they throw a beautiful a beautiful play call to Xavier Thomas, who gets 12 yards, and he might fucking score, but he's tiptoeing the right sideline and steps out of bounds. Like, if you go look, listen, we can talk about Sloan, who did not have, like, who deserves criticism. There were times, like, there were good calls. That was one. Beautiful play design. And there's Xavier Thomas down the right sideline. He is going to fucking score. There's nobody there, but he tiptoes the sideline and steps out. Otherwise, it's an 80-yard house call. Instead, he gets 12 yards, and then you have a 3rd and 4. You have to punt. They get the ball with 2:16. Beautiful 2-minute offense. They went right down the field. Beautiful. Beautiful design, beautiful execution, everything. I don't think they faced a 3rd and 2. That's right. They faced a 3rd and 2. They ran for a yard. They went for it on 4th and 1 and threw the pass in the flat to the right side for 8 yards. Down to the 5-yard line, they got in. So instead of Pickett's pick six, you're up 14-3, or Xavier doesn't step out of bounds and it's tied at 14-10 LSU. Instead, you don't make these plays. They put together the 2-minute drive, and you're down 10 at half, 17-7. Now, I think there was some good, man. Thomas's 50-yarder, Nick Anderson's touchdown, the 3rd and 4 where Patrick Payton deflected the ball at the line of scrimmage, Halsey's forced fumble. There was some good. It was bad. Nuss's interception was bad. Mathis had a face mask, which gave them 15 yards. The hold on Trey-Dez negated a 10-yard play. The personal foul on West Weeks, the pass interference on Pickett that negated a pick six. Just wasn't nearly clean enough, man. On a day where they committed 2 turnovers and should have been 3 and committed double-digit penalties, should have won that football game. So you go into the halftime, your defense was dragging ass, man. I mean, they were on the field for 49 plays. LSU ran 24 plays, 15 pass, 9 rushes. They were on the field. Your defense was on the field for 49 defensive snaps. Just brutal. So they needed a break. You really needed your offense to get out there and sustain something. They didn't. They got a first down, but then ended up punting. You got behind the sticks because you gave up a sack. Mabenga and Juwan Johnson gave up the sack. But you kept getting stops, man. You got to stop. You get the ball back. Mabenga got hurt on that drive. Hilton drew the PI. Would have been a touchdown if Nuss throws a better ball. But he draws the PI. You end up settling for a 40-yard field goal, 17-10. PJ Woodland gets the interception. You get the ball near midfield. You end up settling for a field goal again. It's 17-13. Like, you're in it, but your offense just can't get going. You had opportunities, man. 17-13 right there at the end of the third quarter was was the opportunity. But the 3rd and 14, where they converted on 3rd and 14 with the 18-yard reception, that's kind of where it was only 17-13 at that point, but that was the kind of the point where I was like, well, that's ball game. They went down and scored to go up 24-13, and at that point, you're going to need a miracle. Now, to LSU's credit, they did put together a touchdown drive. They didn't give up, and the touchdown drive ended up being a 15-play, 80-yard drive, 5:58 off the clock. Scored 2-point. The 2-point conversion was one of the shittiest play calls I've ever seen. Play design, They won on the left hash. They motioned Juwan Johnson. I mean, you hand him the ball. Oh my God! Are y'all watching Bama, Georgia? Ryan Williams just dropped a walk-in touchdown. Holy shit! Oh my God! Jesus Christ! I mean, just dropped it. Whew. Anyway, LSU put together a touchdown drive, pulled in 24-19. Your defense needed to get a stop, get your ball back. You didn't. It's the opposite of what happened last year. Ole Miss had the lead, had a shot to go in their 4-minute offense a year ago to end the game. They couldn't end the game. Ended up giving it back to LSU. Nussmeier led the game-tying touchdown drive, and Tigers won it in overtime. LSU needed to get a stop. They went forward on – you almost did. I mean, Chambliss made a boneheaded play running out of bounds, a minute 47 left, so it's 4th and 3. I mean, brother, 4th and 3. They don't convert that 4th and 3. You got the ball with a minute and a half at their 36 and going down to score a winning touchdown and steal a game. But you didn't cover 8. So they had to be mindful of Chambliss's ability to run the ball. They left 8 alone. Conversion. They converted a 3rd and 9. They converted a 3rd and 14. Caleb Jackson had a drop. Awful turnover. Awful timeout for LSU, which has been a problem. On the 4th, before the 4th and 1, then you had the false start. So you end up kicking the field goal there instead of going for it on 4th and 1. Don't know what to say. So you had opportunities. And tip your cap, man. They had a good plan, better plan than LSU. They executed their plan better and won it. So I was dead wrong. I had LSU winning. Thought they were the much better team. Had them winning comfortably. And so I still think LSU's defense is really, really good. They were just on the field a ton in the first half. I mean, they'd given up 3 points up until the 4:53 mark of the first half. I mean, defense played well. They were just on the field the whole fucking time. So anyway, all right. I know a lot of people are saying play Van Buren. I don't know. I can respect you asking the question. But come the fuck on. What are you talking about? I mean, you got a 5th-year senior quarterback who threw for 4,000 yards last year. Clearly, he's not right to start this season. Is it the oblique lingering? Is it just the pressure? Is it the just complete inability to run the football? I don't know. It's probably a combination of all this shit. He's not playing well. But you think Michael Van Buren is the answer? A guy that was, Georgia dropped the pick 6. I saw it. I assume he would have run it back, but would have definitely a pick. Anyway. All right. This is the guy who said, not that one, sorry. There's a guy who said, I'm tired of the excuses for Nuss. But here's the thing, man. I can understand that. But the problem with your comment is it's not like it was recruiting hype, so we built him up. You know what I mean? Like to something he fucking threw for 4,000 yards last year. Like we've seen him be objectively really fucking good. So that's the problem where when you like whenever you when you say like, oh, I'm tired of the Nuss hype or the excuse, like it's not, we're not guessing. I mean, he threw for 4,000 yards. It's the second greatest season passing in the history of this program behind only Joe Burrow. And he did it in 13 games. So like clearly something's different. You know, like, and so is it, why can't he do it this year? Well, that's the question, James. Like, that's the fucking question. That's what we're all having the conversation about. Is it the torso thing? Is it pressure from having an inexperienced offensive line? Is it the complete inability to have any type of running game that's putting so much on him and they couldn't get the ball downfield? Like, fuck, I don't know. But if you think Michael Van Buren is the answer, fuck, like this guy keeps posting this and it's just so stupid. I mean, Michael Van Buren played last year at Mississippi State and threw as many interceptions as he did touchdowns. Like, are you going to get off on Michael Van Buren because he played well in the second half against an FCS school when he went in the game up 6 touchdowns? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I get everyone's pissed that they lost, and you should be. Like, I get that. I'm not saying don't be pissed. I'm not saying be pleased with the offense. The offense sucks. They're awful. The offense is awful. I'm not saying be pleased with that, but also have like a little bit of sensibility here. David, super disappointing result. Hopefully improvement can be attained over the bye week. I mean, nobody wants to hear that right now. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, you get an opportunity to rest guys. Hopefully you get Caden Durham back. We'll see what the injury is with Paul Mabenga. Witt left late in the game with an injury. Thankfully, he walked off. You get a week off to get Tradez 100%, West Weeks 100%. You get Braylon Moore some rest, some recovery. Like, that's a good thing. And you get 2 weeks to prepare for a South Carolina team that's not very good. I mean, let's call it what it is. South Carolina last year defensively was a great team. They're not a great team this year. They're a bit of a disaster. So I understand LSU's got a ton of shit they got to figure out and work on. But you should come out of your bye and beat South Carolina. And then you go to Vanderbilt. And you're going to be favored at Vanderbilt, and you should beat Vanderbilt. You can laugh at that, but LSU should beat Vanderbilt, yes. A way more interesting game than any of us would have pegged before the season, but you should beat Vanderbilt. So what can you do over the next 3 weeks before you come home against Texas A&M? You get A&M at home. If you win, you get your open date, you win those next 2. You come home as a one-loss team against A&M in a giant atmosphere at Tiger Stadium. If you get that one, you go into your bye before you go to Tuscaloosa. And then you see what you're playing for in November. The super disappointing thing here is the margin that you had built, right? For error in winning at Clemson, you just gave back. So now you only have one more game to play with. And I think before the season, we all looked at Ole Miss, at Alabama, at Oklahoma, at Clemson, like those 4. But like, if you beat Clemson, could you win one of those 3 road games? Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma. And if you did that, then you're 10-2 and you're in the playoff if you hold serve at home. So I think that's your target at this point. It's get to that Alabama game with 1 loss. And if you lose in Tuscaloosa, okay, then you got to beat Arkansas and Western Kentucky, which you will. Y'all saw Arkansas today? And then you go to Oklahoma, probably with a playoff spot on the line. but you can't have any more fuck ups. That's the problem. Like you lost your margin for error in this game today. The third week in a row, I'm going to ask you, why can't we try Michael Van Buren and keep laughing at me? Because, like, you don't a month into the season say, well, let's just fucking try something when you've got a fifth-year senior quarterback who is going to finish his career as the leading passer in the history of the program. Like, don't be stupid. Like, the answer is not to play Garrett Nussmeier. The answer is your offensive line needs to fucking play better so you can run the ball, so you can give him some semblance of passing lanes instead of throwing into defenses that are dropping 8 consistently. My God, Ole Miss rushed 3. They were getting pressure on Garrett Nussmeier rushing 3. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why is that not resonating for some of you? Yeah. Won the turnover battle. They had 100 yards of penalties, and you lost. Bama's got first and goal. If those motherfuckers go win that game, I'm going to be so pissed. I need to dress up like a bulldog or something on Monday. I need them to lose this fucking game. Hey, Chris, comparing Nuss's arm this year last, inability to complete downfield, doesn't look like he's hurt. He looks off. What's your opinion? Like, I think we've talked about this so much. I don't know what else to say. Like, everyone brings up the ball to Barry and Brown against Tech. Okay. He underthrew Hilton today. Okay. Does he not have arm strength? Does he have happy feet? Like, I need someone who's a quarterback expert to look at this shit and tell me, because I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not a quarterback. Never played that position at a high level. Does it look? Is he hurt? Maybe. Is he hurt? Is it he's uncomfortable because he's being pressured? He's got to be more precise with his throws because everyone's dropping 8 in the coverage and rushing 3 because they're getting pressure with 3. Like, this is math. Like, y'all understand this. If a team is rushing 3, you should be able to run the ball because you have 5 blocking their 3. Like, you should be able to run the ball. And you can't run against their 3. So teams keep dropping 8. So when you try to pass, you're trying to throw against 8 fucking defensive backs. Like, this is a problem. When they're getting pressure with 3, and, like, again, congrats to Ole Miss. They won the game. They were better today. Like, none of those dudes, except for Centarian Perkins, like, none of those dudes are going to hear their names called in the NFL draft in April. Like, that's not like Clemson and Florida were much better defensive fronts than what you face today. Like, that's a problem. Dave's been O-line coach in the SC for a decade. His O-lines have averaged 10th in the SC in yards per game, yards per carry. This year, they're 15th. He's the constant. Sample is large. They won't improve. Time to go. Look, after a game like this, there's nothing to say to the contrary. Like, they keep recruiting well. They're developing guys, putting them in the NFL. For 2 years now, you have not been able to run the football. That's an objective fact. And we can say Jaden masked a lot of those deficiencies. And maybe that's true. Like, that's something which, by the way, his first fucking game, when many of you wanted Miles Brennan to be the fucking quarterback, I was the only one going, no, you're going to play the guy who's been a 3-year starter who can run the football because you're playing 2 freshman tackles. So, keeping Sloan over Denbrock for a quarterback we don't even have. 2-point play was coaching malpractice. I would love to hear the explanation on the 2-point play. Would like to not have the option to throw the football. That was horrendous. The keep Denbrock thing is not right. Notre Dame broke him off, and it was an opportunity to go home. Like, we know the Denbrocks a little bit, and that was not. It wasn't like LSU picked Sloan over Denbrock. That was an opportunity for Denbrock to go closer to home with his wife, their family there, their son. Like that was don't get that part of the story twisted. When will you sound the alarm on our offense? I think I've done that. Respectfully, I think you're wrong on Nuss. Injury worse than was let on. Should have sat last week. You see, you say that, but then he looked awesome last week. And this week, everyone said he's 100%. So, like, you can't keep moving the goalposts. Like, we sat here last week, and Nuss made every throw, right? Can we all agree to that? Like, can we all agree to that? Last week, Garrett Nussmeier made every throw. Deep balls, intermediate, zip, all of it. Made every throw. By the way, look how fucking cool the sky looks. Anyway, like, Nuss made all the throws. So you can't then sit here after a shitty game against Ole Miss and say, oh, he should have sat last week. Why? He was awesome last week. And looked great. Looked perfect. Looked like nothing was bothering him. Like, don't move the goalpost, man. Like, you got to be consistent on that shit. I'll tell you when I think I'm wrong. Clearly, look, I was wrong. I picked LSU to win this game. I thought LSU offensively would get go against a bad Ole Miss defense. And yet, that is not a good Ole Miss defense. It's not a talented Ole Miss defense. They have Sage Ryan playing safety for them. All their dudes from last year that were dudes, they're all in the NFL right now. And they took the fight to you because they were able to get pressure with three, which tells you your offensive line is shit. You have a very bad offensive line. Like, instead of going in the portal and spending money on Barry Brown, Nick Anderson, maybe they should have gone in the portal and bought more offensive linemen. I know they got more in time. Braylon Moore has been outstanding. And I think Josh Thompson, I'll check the PFF stuff. I don't know that he had any real issues today, but like, I think those two guys have been good. But clearly the majority of your issues have been a tackle. Touchdown, Bama. Son of a bitch. What does it just be the shittiest day ever, man? If Bama ends up beating Georgia. Fuck them people. I need to be dressing like a fucking dog doing some barking bullshit on Monday at them people. I need to rub Elmer Fudd's nose in some shit. Chris Brandon, in the time it takes Matt to apologize for the offense, LSU threw 3 more passes behind the line of scrimmage. But like, okay, Chris, like, we do understand this, right? When you can't run the ball, like, that's what you have to do. You have to use your short passing game as an extension of the run. McElroy said on the broadcast, the swing pass to Xavier Thomas, he's like, that's basically a toss sweep. That's how it effectively acts. You just get it a little wider in space. So that's why they're going to keep throwing, because they can't run the ball. So the question becomes, why can't they fucking run the ball? Combination of, you don't have the right offensive lineman, your offensive line coach isn't good, your play design isn't good, you should be running more power, like all that. And all that is the answer in some combination. Blake, $1.99, thank you. Kyle, each of the past 2 times we're going to Oxford, we left with a crisis, defensive crisis, 22, offensive in 25. And you got to go there next year. Remember, with the way the schedule, the new 9-game schedule, A&M comes here again next year, and LSU goes to Oxford again next year. LSU should stop funding everything with baseball. I don't think you understand, like, I'm sure you do, but like, football pays for everything. Like, baseball doesn't make money. You have to make money. I bet it hurts to have this defense when yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Not even this defense, like half of this defense with Jaden. You'd have been a playoff team for sure, because you would have beaten Ole Miss, so you would have been in the playoff that year. Exposed elite defense on 3rd and long all day. Let's see. They converted 3rd and 6, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 11. The play before the AJ Halsey forced fumble was a 3rd and 11. They converted for 16 yards. 3rd and 5. I'm just looking at their conversions. There were a lot of them. 3rd and 2, they did not, but then they converted the 4th and 1. 3rd and 12. 3rd and 11. Sorry, 3rd and 11. 3rd and 9. No doubt. I mean, they kept 3rd and 14. They kept drives alive, converting 3rd and long because of their quarterback's ability to run the ball. And when LSU tried to put a shell around him, he made accurate throws. Like, seriously, hat tip to Trinidad Chambliss. I thought today he would get bottled up by a fast, athletic, talented defense. And for a half, for 25 minutes, he was. I mean, they were sitting on 3 points until the 4:53 mark, and they had 1, 2. They had 2 3-and-outs, an interception, and another interception called back because of a PI, which was unnecessary. I mean, you heard on the broadcast. That's the first time in 11 games they went 3-and-out on their first possession. Last time was last year against LSU. Seriously, credit him. What the fuck else you want me to say? Congratulations. Trinidad Chambliss did awesome today. I was wrong. Trinidad Chambliss outplayed Garrett Nussmeier. He was great. I did not think he would be. He was. Joey Neil McCready said, "You're a fraud, and LSU can't afford Brian Kelly's buyout." I don't think Neil called me a fraud, but LSU's not going to pay Brian Kelly's buyout. Let's see. Wonder if Kelly will get the Fiesta. I guess it's probably supposed to be feisty with reporters. Billy. Let's see. Tigers, even with the O-line issues, we lost this one on the shoulders of West Weeks and Nuss. Not Sloan and BK saying elite players can use. Are you talking about like West Weeks's the personal foul? West Weeks's personal foul came at a critical point. What he's talking about. So LSU's up 7-3. There's 6:49 to play in the first half. Like, this is the thing that's lost because it felt out of reach, but you were winning. I mean, you're up at the 6:49 mark when they get the ball. They get a holding on first down. It's 1st and 20. You pressure, force an error and throw, but West Weeks hits Chambliss. They get the 15-yard penalty, and then that kept the drive alive. That was the drive where Gooden was offsides. Pickett had the pick six that got negated. Then Woodland had the PI as well. So, I mean, you gave them 50 yards in penalties on that drive that gave them the lead. 50 yards. You gave them half the field in penalties. I mean, not great. TK, Dave Dog, Charles, season isn't over. We need to figure out some calls, decisions. I would love to know what's affecting Nuss's abilities. Remember, there's no Brian Kelly press conference Monday. They don't have the Monday press conference on the open date. So the next time we'll talk to Brian Kelly will be a week from Monday. So it'll be an interesting conversation. Sucks going into an open date on a loss. You got to let that feeling linger and dwell for a long time. Almost 2,000 of y'all hanging out, man. I appreciate it so much. Please, if you would, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. The thing you can do, look, I'm happy to do this always. The thing you can do for me, of course, Parish Construction and Roofing. I'm an owner in Parish. I think a lot of you know that. We'd love to help you out. Repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, soft washing, fortified roofing grants. We can help you with that. Gutters, anywhere in the state of Louisiana. We'd love to help you. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. And, of course, Got Lit Light Installers. Derek and his crew are awesome. Derek, Cal, they're great, man. Got Lit is super easy. But the one thing I got to, so many of you called last week, and thank you for that. But so many of you called They're only within about a 30-mile radius of Baton Rouge. So, like, Lafayette, New Orleans, Alec, a lot of people Shreveport, a lot of people ask. No, so they're about a 30-mile radius of Baton Rouge. But their service is awesome. We've used them the last 2 years. We'll do it forever. I mean, as long as they're in business, we'll hire them. I got lit pinned in the YouTube chat. It's a super easy thing, man. They'll come by, they'll install their Christmas lights. If anything bulb goes out, they'll come fix it. When the season's over, they come take it down, haul it away. It's just the easiest turnkey thing you can imagine. And it's super affordable. And it just depends on what you want to do. People say, what does it cost? It just depends what you want to do. Like, do you just want the front of your house? Do you want to wrap trees? Do you want the roof? Do you want the back as well? It's just, how big is your house? Like, a 1,700 square foot house is going to be different than a 5,000 square foot house. That one's front, back, you know what I mean? It just depends what you want done. But it's affordable and they're awesome, and I would love it if you give them a try. So gotlitlights.com. Got it pinned in the chat, but gotlitlights.com. To be fair, running quarterbacks kick their ass. Maybe Van Buren can bring that dynamic. I mean, you really handcuffed Marcel Reed last year. Not Reed. Taylor Green, Arkansas. Big Jake, I don't think the season's over. We're not going to get far with the offense. Completely agree. Like, I was willing to be patient, y'all. Like, I think it's a general fan condition to melt. Like, I've just trained myself to be way more patient than fans are. Right, wrong, good, bad. And sometimes right, sometimes wrong. But, like, we could all objectively say through 4 weeks the offense was not good. I was willing to hear the explanation for why. Like Brian Kelly saying against Florida, we played how we had to win the game. Okay. Is that because you got a young line, quarterback's hurt, whatever, all those things. This was one of those where you should be concerned because for all those issues to persist against a team that was giving up nearly 200 rush yards a game coming in, and you ran the ball against 3 man. You ran the ball 22 times for 57 yards for an average of 2.6 and a long of 10. And by the way, the long of 10 was on the 3rd and 20 where they handed the ball to Caleb Jackson and ran for 10 yards. Like, come on. All comes back to inability and unwillingness to run the ball. I understand going away from it if it's not working, not trying in the first place. 9 rushing attempts in the first half was not smart. Van Buren looked better than Nuss. Don't care about opponent or scenario. Well, if you don't care about the opponent or scenario, Dave, then that's just ignorant. Like, because then you're ignoring the fact that Garrett Nussmeier led 6 straight touchdown drives in that game. So you're conveniently ignoring that Nuss led 6 straight touchdown drives and magnifying Van Buren in the second half of the game where he entered up 42 points. Like, that's just not a smart comment. Like, if you want to make a case for Van Buren, that can't be it. TK not worried about Sloan. Is it time to start really questioning Brad Davis? He's yet to really put a physical offensive line on the field. I know a lot of people bring that up a lot. I'll tell you the other thing too. You've got Alex Atkins on the staff now as well. I don't know if y'all look at the shots of Sloan in the press box, but the guy next to him with the big beard is Alex Atkins. And Atkins was the OC at Florida State, who was also a running backs coach. Who was an offensive line coach, who LSU tried to hire when they got Brad Davis. They tried to hire Alex Atkins, but he stayed at Florida. Norvell kept him at Florida State. So you've got another really accomplished offensive line coach on staff. He's coaching tight ends right now and sitting sidecar with the offensive coordinator in the press box. So I don't know how much or if at all Atkins is helping there, but like, that's an option as well. Like, you've got Alex Atkins on staff. Let him help. Man, 51 super chats. Jesus. Anthony, Nussmeier was inaccurate. Our offensive line has to do better. If our defense had held them to 10 like every other game, we would have won. It's just such a hard standard, right, Anthony? Ask your defense to only hold a team to 10 points every time. T-Bob put out there today, Denbrock was forced out in favor of Sloan. That's not true. It's not true. Like, factually inaccurate. All right. Charles, season's over. We got some personnel in run game. What is affecting us to miss open guys in the first half? Like, it's funny to the season is over crowd, and I know that's common with fans. I've done this long enough to know. You go back to 22. LSU lost the opener to Florida State, looked like dog shit doing it, and got blown the fuck out in Tiger Stadium by Tennessee. And they ended up in the SEC championship game with a win over Bama as well. Like, calm the fuck down. It's fucking September. Like, if you were Clemson and you're 1-3 and you had playoff expectations and you're 1-3 in September, yes. In that case, you're done. Like, your goals are done. Like, to sit here and say the season's over in September is just so fucking dumb. Like, come on, man. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm saying that's a dumb comment. Just take a breath. Like, take a sip of your whiskey, crack open a cold beer, take a deep breath, use some context, man. Ohio State won the national championship last year. They lost to Oregon early in the season, and they fucking lost on their home field to a 500 Michigan team in the last fucking playing date of the regular season. They didn't even play for their conference championship, and they won the national title. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, I get that's not good. I also know you have a shit ton of skill talent on offense. You have a veteran quarterback. You have a lot of talent and a good defense. This was not a good day. You got out-coached, out-played, out-schemed, out everything. You got out everything today. Not good. But please don't sit here and try to fucking tell me the season's over in September. God damn it. Come on. I'm done with Charles. I don't even know what you said there, Charles. I don't care. It's not worth $5. Is it possible last year Sloan had to air it out knowing he had a terrible defense? This year is way too conservative, relying on the defense. Can't make adjustments. I don't know. I wish we talked to Joe. I'd ask him. Sloan better be walking home. Does Brian Kelly call plays? Can you ask Kelly why Johnson a Wildcat? Like, let me ask you where I wouldn't be opposed to that, by the way. Like, we know that it's in the playbook. I mean, we saw it at practice. I mean, they ran that in the spring scrimmage when the public was there. So we know they have it in there. Like, you wouldn't go rep that if it wasn't a thing that you had in your playbook and would call. And I'm not opposed to that too. Like, you know, a wildcat, like a single wing formation gives you a numbers advantage because as soon as the quarterback hands off the football, he takes himself out of the play. So if the person who takes the snap is running the ball, it gives you a numbers advantage. What fucking Chambliss had a great success doing it today. So I'm not opposed to that. When would you call it? Like, I think that'd have been a great wrinkle today. Would you take Garrett Nussmeier off the field? Maybe. And then if they crowd the box, then let fucking Juwan Johnson throw the ball. Kid threw for 10,000 yards in high school. I get it's high school, but the point is, like, he has the ability to throw the football. Bryce, where's the runs to stretch the defense sideline to sideline? Brother, that's all the short passing game is. That's all it is. It's Xavion, swing pass, Berrien Brown. Like, they did that over and over again today. The fourth down conversion to Kyle Parker was that. Where, they reviewed it and he reached the ball right to the line. And that's what that was. That's what they do. Since when can you sound a fucking tornado siren into the stadium with 5 seconds on the play clock? Problem is Vince bring Canada back. Oh, Matt Canada. Let's see. Good to see y'all. Thank you. LSU 4-9 against ranked opponents since 2022. Sam, Brad Davis shouldn't be allowed on the fucking bus. Leave Sloan and Davis in Mississippi. Masorte, Matt, should we bring back the Power Eye? Yes. I asked Brian Kelly last week at his Monday press conference because they ran a play, the long run for Harlem Berry at the end of the game against Florida? Was it Durham? It was Durham. The long run for Durham at the end of the game against Florida. They were in a Power Eye. They had Bauer Sharp at fullback, and they had Jack Pyburn at H-back. And they ran a Power Eye run to the left side. They sealed it perfectly, and he ripped off a 41-yard, 51, whatever the run was. Yes. But I even asked Brian Kelly, like, if you do that more, who plays fullback? He said, usually the tight end. Well, maybe you need more Donovan Green. If Bauer Sharp isn't capable of doing that. I think Bauer Sharp's a great athlete. I don't know if he'd be a great blocker, but they do not have a fullback on the team. Or maybe it's Bo Bordelon. Bo Bordelon's an offensive lineman who they put in the 89 jersey and let him block. Maybe it's Bo Bordelon. Man, the crazy thing about it, though, is like I know it's easy to look at the end result and not think of context, but think about the context of the first half. You forced back-to-back 3-and-outs to start the game. You had a pick six negated for a PI penalty, which was PI, but was unnecessary, right? He made a bad throw. You had another interception against him. It was wild to look at that chess match as LSU would play a shell around him. And when they played the shell and they didn't pressure him, they gave him time and he threw accurately. When they brought pressure, by and large, he was able to recognize it and run and convert over and over again. Credit to him. He mostly made good decisions with the football. Mad respect to Matt sitting over an hour watching 2,000 people tell him how stupid he is. I don't care. Most people tell me that every day. It's the thing, honestly, when you do this, people never remember the shit you get right. They always remember the shit you get wrong. That's just what it is. It's part of the business. When you give opinions every day, you're going to get some wrong. I went hard on this game, y'all. I went hard. Thought LSU was a much better team and would win comfortably. There ain't no hiding from that. What the fuck am I going to do? Not do a post-game show? Pretend like y'all didn't know what I said all fucking week long? Come on, Georgia. Get going. Why we have Perk rushing instead of spying? He did spy. What are you talking about? Like, Perk and Weeks were spying the whole game, man. But sometimes you had to change it up and bring pressure. And there were times, man, when he was pressured, he'd roll, he'd throw the ball away. One time, Weeks hit him late. I mean, there were times you got to him. He didn't make it count. Matt, if we hold our breath on first-year starting quarterback, shouldn't it be the same for first-year offensive coordinator? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. They rushed 3, dropped the rest. 3 was getting the nuts. The entire world knows we have to run the ball. We don't try. Time to fire Sloan. Same way Tech fired him. Tech didn't fire him. LSU hired him to be the quarterback coach. Side effects of LSU include high blood pressure. Season isn't over. Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Charles. Okay, season isn't over. Okay, thank you, Charles, for the clarification, Charles. Whew. Thank you, Charles. I'm very glad for the clarification. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Bama scored again. God damn it. It sucks. Come on, Georgia. What'd you do for 2 weeks, dumbasses? Get your head out of your ass. Same as last year, man. Bama got up big. Georgia rallied. Same as what happened with Tennessee. This is like the carbon copy what happened 2 weeks ago against Tennessee with Georgia. They got down big. See if they can rally. 14 nothing. Barry, I don't know what you mean. Sorry. Now we tried Big Easy Whiskey. I have not. Scott, Matt, stupid ass prediction. Stop it. Go back to being Matt. What do you mean, go back to being Matt? Like, when have I ever not told you how I feel? Like, I always tell you how I feel. But I'm going to be honest. And there's times I think LSU is going to win, and I'm going to tell you. And there's times I think they're going to lose, I'm going to fucking tell you. Like, I picked them to lose to Clemson. I was wrong that day. They won. Close game, tight game. LSU was losing in half. Defense pitched shutout in the second half, made enough plays, won. I thought they'd win easily today. They didn't. They had opportunities. They didn't. What do you mean, go back to being Matt? This is what I do. I'm in the opinion media. I give opinions. Whatever my opinion is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you what I think. I thought LSU was going to win this game comfortably today. I do not think Ole Miss is a great football team. I think their defense sucks. I think they are limited in spots. Just like a year ago, Ole Miss was a more talented team that lost in Baton Rouge. Sometimes that happens. It is hard to win on the road in the SEC. I thought LSU with a veteran quarterback, a really talented veteran defense, was going to be fine in this setting against a quarterback who is going to see talent on the defensive side, the likes of which he hadn't seen. Like Garrett Nussmeier a week ago looked more like himself, though they were ready to go. I watched Ole Miss give up 500 yards to Arkansas, and Arkansas is shit. I thought LSU with their receivers would go and find space in that secondary and make plays. Like when LSU in its third series, 50-yarder to Xavier Thomas on the first play. I'm like, yep, that's what it's supposed to look like. Yep. Ole Miss doesn't cover well. They don't have athletes. I was wrong. Do you think we'll be favored in Nashville? Yes. Also, I know I talk crap. Thanks for always having the best damn postgame show in South. Thank you. Appreciate it. To be perfectly respectful and honest, I don't know that you always talk crap. There's 1,688 live comments on this chat right now, so it's a little hard to keep up sometimes. But yes, I do think LSU will be favored in Nashville. Drew Parish, TJ White. I missed the all good. Hats off to Lane Kitten. Feel if they didn't convert 4th and 3, we were going to win. Didn't it kind of have that feeling like it was brewing that way? When Chambliss went out of bounds with a minute 47, they were at their 36 with a 3rd and 4. He goes out of bounds, so it's 4th and 3. It's 4th and 3 at the 33. And so that's a tough call right there. I mean, they got a really good field goal kicker. It's a transfer from, I think, Western Kentucky. Is that right? They got a transfer kicker who's been really good for them. And they could have kicked a field goal and made it 8. And LSU would need a touchdown 2-point conversion. But he went for it. He's like, fuck that. We're going for the win. Good for him. They did. Let's see. Craig said, we will lose 2 more games with this offense. But Craig, will they tight games with the offense? Look at this. Drunk Vigo. Love you, Moscona. I love you too, Drunk Vigo. Thank you for being there. Q Scott. Thank you, Matt, for giving logical input after the game. Too many people speaking from emotions, nothing logical about anything. It's cool, man. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and shit on people for being emotional when that's what makes sports awesome, are the emotions. Like, we get super pumped when our teams win. We get bummed when our teams lose. And like tomorrow morning, when everybody sleeps, sobers up, goes to church, if we were to do a post-game show tomorrow, it'll be a lot more rational. But we fire this up right when the game ends, nerve endings are exposed. Fuck yeah, people are going to be emotional. I'm not going to tell people don't be emotional, but there's going to be times I'm going to call you on some bullshit. And y'all should call me on some bullshit. I just try to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to lie and, fabricate opinions. I thought LSU was going to win this game and win it comfortably. I was not doing that for show. I thought LSU was going to win this game based on what I had seen through a 4-game sample of LSU's defense and what I saw from Ole Miss against Kentucky, where they looked like shit playing at Lexington, what I saw Arkansas offensively do against Ole Miss in Oxford. I thought LSU would go score 30 in this game, and I thought 30 would be plenty enough to win, and 30 would have been enough to win. LSU gave up 24. 30 would have been enough to win, but LSU didn't get there. Offense has really legitimate issues. Nussmeier's missing open receivers. Oh, touchdown, Georgia. Fuck yeah. Let's go. That's what we need. All they needed was just to get their lip bloodied a little bit. They just need to get their lip bloodied. Like in Dumb and Dumber when Jim Carrey goes, huh? And he rips the guy's heart out. Look at Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd. Let's see. Cash. Matt, who's better, Ty Simpson or Nuss? Over the course of their career, Nuss. Could Ty Simpson become a better collegiate player? Sure. Sure he could. He was a 5-star. He's waited his turn. He's getting his chance to play now. We'll see. Michael, Matt, spot on with your assessment. Roster, LSU's head and shoulders above Ole Miss. They are, which is like, here's the, listen, this is the litmus test, okay? And I would tell this to anybody. It's the same thing as last year. This is the litmus test. The litmus test is in April when the draft comes around, watch how many guys get drafted. Like, I think you would all agree with me on this, right? Pyburn's going to get drafted. Bernard Gooden's going to get drafted. Patrick Payton's going to get drafted. Jamari Butler's going to get drafted. Guillory will see, in particular because of the Achilles, but those 4 for sure. Whitweeks will get drafted. Perkins will get drafted. Delane will get drafted. Halsey will get drafted. That's 8 on the defensive side alone. Nuss, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Braylon Moore, probably Josh Thompson if he goes. Well, he's a senior. He'll have to go. Nick Anderson if he goes. Bauer Sharp. I mean, I just read all 15 fucking names. Like, you have an NFL roster on both sides of the ball. Reaper feeling can always come back to make the playoffs. Look, man, if I say yes right now, all after, an hour after this loss, you're all just going to shit on me. But let me give you a very salient opinion. Okay. Can they? Absolutely. You have 1 loss. You're going into your open date. You're home against South Carolina, which I think you would agree with me they should win. Now, I know some of you today because they're not fucking winning another fucking game. That's what y'all do. Not all of you, some. But you should beat South Carolina at home. You should win at Vandy. You come home against A&M. Tough game. If you win that, you go into November with 4 games. Can you go 3-1 at Bama, home against Arkansas, home against Western Kentucky, at Oklahoma. Can you go 3-1 in those 4? If yes, then you're 10-2, and you're in the playoff. Are they capable of doing that? Yes, I think they're capable of doing that. So to your point, can they make the? Yes, can they? Would you predict it after this? Got much more complicated because the offense is bad, and you have to see this offense get better. And if they don't, then no. But can the offense improve? Will Nussmeier get healthier? Whatever, like all those things are. Can the offensive line get better the more reps they get? Like those are all the things that you need to see. And if the answer to all that is no, then no, you're not going to make the playoff. You'll go 9-3 or 8-4, and it'll be super disappointing. Just like Ole Miss a year ago, spent all that money and went 9-3. Lost 2 games as a double-digit favorite, lost as a 3.5-point favorite at LSU. Massively disappointing a year ago for Ole Miss. And today, they flipped that on its head on LSU. They did to LSU today what LSU did to them last year. Ole Miss was the better team in Baton Rouge last year, and LSU got one from them. LSU has all the financial investment, the veteran quarterback, all it's a complete role reversal. And they beat you. And they put you behind the 8 ball now. So you only got one more game to play with the rest of the year. What happened to Georgia's defense? Georgia used to be awesome on defense, like suffocating. This is one of the things, that was one of the biggest takeaways at SEC Media Days, man, was listening to Kirby say that this is the youngest team he's ever had. So like 56% of his roster are like first or second year players. It's like just a super young roster. The defense was bad last year too. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what this is a reference to, but you think LSU is a better team. LSU is a more talented team. They are, objectively, than Ole Miss. But the more talented team doesn't always win, and that's coaching. And LSU got flat out coached, outplayed out everything today. So, like, good, like, congratulations. Just like a year ago. A year ago, Ole Miss was a better team than LSU. Last year, Ole Miss was a better team, and LSU won that game. It happens sometimes, man. This is funny. No one cares about your opinion, says the guy who's watching my live stream along with 2,000 other people. Here you are. You don't care about you don't care so much you're hanging out here. Awesome. Love it. Thanks for being there. Michael, Matt, I thought the same as you. This hurts. Sick of Joe Sloan's management of the offense. Look, all the criticism, Sloan, Brad Davis, Kelly, all of it is totally warranted. Hang on. Hello? Okay. I'm doing my live stream. No, I'm doing my live stream. Yeah. Okay. Jacob wasted a good offense with a shit defense when Jaden was here. Now we're wasting a good defense this year with Nuss. I don't think you're wasting it with Nuss. I mean, Nuss is clearly not playing at the level he did a year ago. I think the question is why. And if I were, oh, that's the sorry, that's nice. If I were in the post-game press conference with Brian Kelly today, I would ask him that. Like the pass that Aaron Anderson got hurt on, that was after the holding penalty on Tradez. You had 1st and 20. That was a good, like, you want to criticize Sloan, fine, credit where it's due as well. That was a beautiful call. Over the middle, you had Aaron Anderson, soft spot in the zone. He was there. Not there. Like, you know, What's going on with some of that stuff? Like, why is that not like those are things that's not play call, that's not offensive line, that's not like don't get me wrong, the offensive line has been objectively very bad. Um, but there's a lot of blame to go around. All right. Hmm. Let's see. What's your opinion on Sloan after 5 weeks? I thought we only kept him last year because of Underwood recruitment. What happened? Did they turn the ball over? They fumble. Fucking Georgia, get your head out of your ass. You score, you get a stop, you get the ball back, and you fumble. God damn it. I need to paint a bulldog on my head on Monday. I need Georgia to get their head out of their ass. All right. Any more? I'm about to get out of here. So Kelly said nothing's wrong. I didn't hear Kelly, obviously, post game. So he said nothing's wrong with us. I mean, this is my conflict here. Okay. You want to say something was wrong, which is why they were conservative against Florida. Okay. Even if I grant you that, then how do you explain last week? Oh, yes. Fine. I'm not talking about them scoring 56. I'm talking about him physically making the plays. Accurate, on time, torque, strike, you know, humming balls in there, deep ball accuracy, like hot, like did he get hurt again this week in practice? So that's where that's where I struggle with the Nuss is injured thing. Like, how do you struggle, or like how do you you're healthy last week. It looked great. And everyone's like, "Yeah, you're great. You're healthy. He's good. He's through it. It's all he's 100%, no limitations, all this stuff. Great." Which, by the way, like that's what everybody in the program's saying. You have a game like this, so it hurt during the week. Anyway, he saw a torso expert. This is pretty good. All right. All right, y'all. Let's wrap this thing up, man. Once again, shout out Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know, me, Terry, our whole staff. Repairs, replacements, commercial, residential. Let me drop Parish, the link here in the YouTube chat. Would love to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. Click the link, fill out the form. We'd love to help you out anywhere in the state of Louisiana. Repairs, replacements, gutters, soft wash, we do it all. And of course, Got Lit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com. Got Lit pinned in the chat. Man, I really appreciate it, man. Really, like sincerely, if you've given them any thought at all, and the one thing I should say, I should have said this earlier. And please don't wait. Don't think, oh, I'll call them in November. Like they're starting installs. They start installs in October. So even if you don't turn them on, they start their installs in October. So by Thanksgiving, they're done. So don't think I'm going to wait until Thanksgiving and then call. If you're curious at all, I just would really appreciate it, man. Have them out. Let them come give you that give an estimate on what it would take, depending on what you want to do, lights for your house, and support a great local business. And they do everything, man. They do Christmas lights, they do Halloween lights, and they do like permanent lighting at your house. Like if you want garden lights or recess lights, any type of lighting at your home, they do all that stuff as well. So anyway, let's see. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go record Locked on LSU, so that's live here in a little bit. Should be done with that in time to watch the second half. Hopefully, watch Georgia come back and beat Bama and get their head out of their ass. All right, y'all. God bless you all. I have love for everybody. We don't always agree, and that's fine. It's one of the beautiful things about being able to do this. We can have conversation, agree, disagree, whatever. I know nobody's happy about LSU losing. I picked them, was bullish on them. They lost. I was wrong. Happens. But I sincerely appreciate everybody for hanging out here, Locked On AFR, Morning Scone, everywhere, man. Even those of you who don't like me, I still love you. I got love for everybody. So, all right, y'all have a great night. Open date next week, so obviously no show next week. We'll be back when LSU plays South Carolina in 2 weeks. Y'all have a great night. Be safe. If y'all are out and about, especially if you're watching from Oxford and you're driving home, be safe driving home on the road. And we'll see y'all. God bless. Peace, everybody. See ya.